you, RAYNET. This is G4NRC, operated today by Greg of Sierra Delta Uniform Bravo, serving as net control for the RAYNET-UK weekly activity net. This net meets each Sunday afternoon at 1600 hours local time and is open to all amateur radio operators interested in emergency communications. The primary purpose of the net is to provide the opportunity for members to test equipment, exchange traffic, news, opinions and information with additional information available on the RAYNET-UK website at www.raynet-uk.net. This is a directed net, which means all calls are to be made to the net control station unless you are instructed otherwise, and all RAYNET-UK operators are invited and encouraged to check into the net. When you do check in, please announce your call sign slowly and phonetically, followed by your name. And if you wish to leave the net immediately after checking in, then please call in and out. Otherwise, if you want to leave after subsequent turns, then please make it clear you want to check out at that time. After I've heard a few check-ins, I'll repeat what I've heard, and if you're not acknowledged, then please try again. I will call for anybody that's missed their slots at the end of the UK and international sections. So I'll now begin taking check-ins to the RAYNET weekly activity test as usual in call sign number order. So any stations with figure 9 in their call sign wishing to check in, please call now. This is G4NRC. G4NRC, we don't have many 9s in the organisation, so let's go to 8. Stations figure 8 in their call sign, please go ahead, over.
Golf 8, Echo, Echo Yankee, G-A-D-E-Y, name is Mike. George 8, Sugar, Dog, Uncle, name is Bob, in and out please.
G4NRC, so I've got Mike, Golf 8, Echo, Echo Yankee staying with me, and good afternoon to Bob, Golf 8, Sierra Delta Uniform, who's in and out. Any other 8s please, G4NRC, over. NRC, nothing heard, let's have 7s, stations figure 7 in their call sign, please go ahead, over. G4NRC, second call, any stations figure 7 in their call sign, please call now. G4NRC, over.
Mike 7, Victor, Sierra Delta, name is Stephen, Dane Valley Group.
Victor Sierra Delta, good afternoon Stephen. Let's move on to 6s, stations figure 6 in their call sign, please go ahead, over.
Good afternoon, this is Golf 6, Papa Delta Echo. No traffic this afternoon, so in and out please, Greg.
Golf 6, Papa Delta Echo, good afternoon again, Chris. Sorry you didn't quite make it to me on the HF net, but we'll see how the reports go later for that. We'll cover you in and out. Any other 6s please, G4NRC, over. NRC, nothing heard, so let's have 5s, stations figure 5 in their call sign, please go ahead, over. For NRC, since we don't have many 5s in the organisation, we'll jump straight to 4s, stations figure 4 in their call sign, please go ahead, over.
G4NLC, G4KUJ, Trevor in Hertfordshire.
Golf 4 Kilo India Lima, G4KIL, Philip South Sussex. G4 is US Golf 4, Hotel Uniform Foxtrot, Phil.
G4 NRC, we've got somebody, there we go, somebody got locked up to the side of the bridge. Still call for again in a minute. So far G4's made it through. G4K UJ Trevor, G4K IL Philip, and G4HUF Phil. There's another G4 out there, but they got locked on the wrong side of the RAYNET-UK to Brandmeister Bridge. So any of the fours, please try again over.
G4XUR, Golf 4 X-ray Uniform Romeo, David in East Somerset.
Good afternoon, David. Okay, let's go to 3 stations. We've got 3 in that call, so please go ahead over.
Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-ray, Ian, in and out. Thank you, Greg.
Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-ray, good afternoon, Ian. Copy to you in and out. Any of the 3s, please. G4 NRC over. And I'll see nothing else. There's 2s, stations, we've got 2 in there, call sign, and that includes you intermediate 2s. Please call now, over.
Two Echo Zero Charlie Mike Sierra, calling from Midway, in and out, please, Greg.
Echo Zero, Charlie Mike Sierra. Good afternoon, Colin, and copy to you in and out. Any other 2s, please? G4 and RC over. See nothing heard, so let's have 1s. Stations, we've got 1 in there, call sign, please come ahead over. RNRC, second call on your stations, figure 1 in their call sign, please go ahead over.
Golf 1, Papa India Echo, 19 Aberdeenshire, in and out, please, Greg.
One Papa India Echo, good afternoon, Mike, and copy you in and out. Good afternoon to you. Okay, let's go for Mike Zero stations, and then you regional secretary identifier, please, over.
Good afternoon, Greg. M0JSA Alan, East Suffolk. No traffic, so in and out today. Thank you.
For an RC, good afternoon, Alan, Mike Zero, Juliet Sierra Alpha, copied in and out. Any other Mike Zero stations of any regional secretary identifier, please, over. And let's have Golf Zero stations of any regional secretary identifier, please call now, over.
Golf Whiskey Zero, Juliet Lima X-ray, good afternoon, Greg. Name is Andy, RAYNET Pembrokeshire. No traffic delays, out in and out, please, over.
Golf 0, Charlie Foxtrot Bravo, Richard, East Suffolk RAYNET. No traffic, in and out. Thanks, Greg.
G4 G4NRC, so I've got Andy, Golf Whiskey Zero, Juliet Lima X-Ray, in and out, probably with a happy Sunday to you, and Richard, Golf Zero, Charlie Foxtrot Bravo, also in and out. Okay, thanks guys. Any UK stations who've missed their turn to call in, please call now, over. G4NRC, do we have any of our international colleagues on the talk groups today? That's usually Sam Hansen of Norway, Aaron in Ireland, Des in the Netherlands, Aries in Slovakia. Any of our international colleagues, please? G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, Lima for 6 India, Mike. Name is Hans in an upgrade.
Alpha 6 India, Mike. Good afternoon, Hans. Could you get an out? If you just stick around for the news items, there's one there. He's going to get some wider put out to the regional mod group later. So, final call, any stations, UK or international, wish to call into the RAYNET-UK activity period, please call now. G4NRC. For NRC, okay, I sincerely hope Graham G7 and the H is live streaming the net to YouTube today. Past live streams and recordings are available by searching G7 and the H, that's Golf 7 November Echo Hotel on YouTube. Adding the like and subscribe is required so he knows the service is appreciated. Firstly, apologies to those who expected to receive their temporary repeater call signs this week. Work and some illness meant I just couldn't get it done in time. On a similar theme, since I've lost my voice at least a couple of times over the last 2 or 3 days, be prepared for a little more audience participation today. The International Telecommunications Union have long had a recommendation for the amateur service which said, quote, that amateur organisations be encouraged to promote the design of robust systems capable of providing radio communications during disasters and relief operations. There is a proposed revision kicking around that is going to push that a little bit further by adding that we should, quote, regularly train so that the necessary skills to provide an effective communications support are developed and maintained for deployment during emergency events. So, anyone else read a challenge into this? Let's see what we get with Mike first. Golf 8 Echo Echo Yankee G4 NRC, over.
G4NRC from G8 DEY. Yeah, I've been a bit croaky this week, sore throats and everything else, but I shall persist in carrying on. Weather here is 10 centigrade, 1014 millibars, 92% relative humidity, 71% cloud cover, and 11 mile an hour winds from 198 degrees. Doesn't look too bad out there, but yeah. Yeah, there's always a challenge. I mean, one thing I always found in the past, that it's useful if we have LRF or other input into training, otherwise we don't know what we're training for. But unfortunately, I'm still waiting for our first LRF meeting for about 9 months now. It all seems to have gone very quiet. So it's difficult to come up with training to suit their needs when we don't really know what their needs are. I've been occupying my time in between coughs. Managed to pick up an 8-inch Windows 10 tablet. Who knew these existed? And it's a ruggedized one, but I had to get it from Germany. But refurbished, checked out. Not expensive, which was good, and it's interesting. Spent a couple of days trying to persuade it that I don't speak German, but it needed to speak English. I think I've managed to get most of that done. Now trying to get things sorted so I can use it. From G8 DEY.
8 Echo Echo Yankee G4 NRC returning. Okay, I was not sure I was going to thank you more for finding that tablet. Hopefully you have active virus protection on it. I must admit I'm losing the plot with where we're up to on Windows 10 support, or lack of it, as is forthcoming as people have to move to Windows 11. But it's one of those things that don't get something too old or you will have a liability rather than a useful laptop. A message about LRFs is totally heard here, but at the next zone meeting for the Northwest, I've got as a topic how we do training, because we've got LRFs who aren't being very proactive in that regard, and we need to start doing stuff for ourselves, and this will just double down on it if that's the way the ITU recommendation goes. Okay, next to Stephen, Mike 7 Victor Sierra Delta G4 and RC, over.
G4NRC, this is Mike 7 Victor Sierra Delta. Very good afternoon to all on the net. Yes, I fully agree with the training needed, but it is helpful to know the actual training requirements. Spent most of today actually doing some training with two groups of cadets, one silver radio course, one bronze radio course via our virtual radio system. So it means I can sit at home and talk to any course I want and lend a hand. Sent about 11 coded messages myself. Received a greater number as well. Over.
Mike 7 Victor Sierra Delta, see if we can get the bridge this time. G4 and RC returning. Yes, but we can only make our own requirements, as you saw from the West Cheshire exercise. Just getting people into the right place on air is a good place to start. Interested whether or not your virtual radio system shows the same degree of dropouts as I just had off you on your DMR transmission, which had a couple of small breaks in transmission. It's a crackliness, nothing to unduly hinder the readability though. Okay, Trevor, G4KUJ, G4 and RC, over.
G4NRC, G4KUJ, yes, good afternoon Greg and everybody else. I think my comment about the ITU is yes, there's some good encouragement there, but it's things I think we've been saying for a long time, but I think since COVID, certainly my observation around this neck of the woods is that 365 and Teams has taken over, and people are less likely to use RF or even test it. I've made some noises to local groups, but seems to be going on deaf ears at the moment. Anyway, that's about all I think on the radio front. Did manage to get a link into DB0 MTS on, I think it was Wednesday evening or Tuesday evening, with a good signal, but the day after, absolutely nothing. But I've got my monthly report ready to try tomorrow evening. Back to you, Greg. G4NRC, G4KUJ.
G4KUJ, G4NRC returning. Okay, in reverse order. Yes, I tried DB0 NCS to keep that Pactor link exercise in the spirit of the headline. And on Friday, no propagation there at all. So something odd. You're right, it's monthly report time, so even greater reason for trying to get something through. Noted about the move by planners to use Office 365 and Teams and virtual operations centres and stuff like that. That's been seen in other countries, and I suppose the ITU recommendation also needs to be seen on an international basis, excuse me, where it was aimed at. where if you want to know how far that can go, think of France, where every one of their ADRASET groups has to successfully complete an exercise every year to keep their government recognition and funding. They don't really get to pick the exercise as far as I know. Okay, thanks Trevor. Over to Philip. G4KIL, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, G4KIL. Thanks so much, Greg. Thanks for running the net. And yes, training, interesting. I mean, I guess I would suggest that things like a weekly call around 1-2 meters is a level of training, or certainly checking equipment, but there's a level of training too in some levels, which certainly around here we try to do. South Sussex, we try to do it. Anyone listening on this channel on a Monday evening around about, or leading up to 8:30, will probably hear me giving a call saying that I might be relaying our 2-meter net on this channel. If anybody from South Sussex calls in, that's it. I don't relay it otherwise. Just about perhaps once every couple of months, somebody actually comes up and I do it. I would suggest that our weekly HF nets, such as we have today, are of a similar, training, in quotes, checking that we can actually do it, keep checking the equipment. Beyond that, I think Colin was on, wasn't he? I think I heard him come on. I don't know if he was, he might have been in and out, those of you listening on the side, but I think it was he or the other Colin, sorry, I can't remember which one now, certainly provided us with South Sussex some very good scenario of a flood training exercise they did, which we ran. We just ran it online, actually. We ran it using Teams, just telling everybody to use the PTT as their mute as a PTT, and we're all sort of connected on WhatsApp, so I used WhatsApp to send the scenario or the changing situation to the different people, telling them what's happening at their local location. So I was doing that. That worked quite well. So commend that to other people if you can't think of anything else to do. Otherwise, well, we've got our events. Now, I would mention that it did come up on the when I was having a discussion with some folk. I think I mentioned this on the HF. I don't know if you heard it now or not. When I had a discussion with somebody that works with raising funds for a local charity, that they had their experience had been that in the last few years, people now only sign up for thing on the day. A lot of people will only do that. They won't sign up in advance. That makes the organisation of sponsored events from their point of view, things like sponsored walks, sponsored runs and so on, really unmanageable. So they're moving away from it, which we've certainly experienced of a number of local charities no longer. Sorry, that was my timeout. Hopefully I come back in again. So a number of our local charities have no longer been running a number of their events. It's not that they don't want us anymore, but they're not running the events anymore. Which is a bit of a challenge for us, because it helps us to get donations from them to cover the cost of running our vehicle and housing our vehicle. Totally challenge for us. Right, that was that one. HF Nets, while I remember, I'm unlikely to be up on Saturday next week. I have another passion for something else I need to do, unfortunately. Hopefully will be the following week, and where are we? Is it the following one? It did work. I should be counting this up, shouldn't I? Anyway, the 28th I probably won't be up. I might be able to monitor it. I'm likely to go on a train somewhere between sort of Reading and Southampton, I think, at the time. I might be able to monitor it on my laptop, possibly put a receive report in, but I'm unlikely to be able to transmit through it, I think. Unfortunately, the local club radio that's available to me for remote access won't work on 40 metres, probably. Won't work on 80 metres, probably won't work on 60. It only really works 40 metres up. So that's unfortunate. I can't use that now. Except for 40 metres I can, but nothing else I could. so I think it's 60 metres on Saturday if I remember. That's as much as I can think of this time round, so I will leave it at that. Apart from saying nice to communicate with you, Greg, on JSA after the net yesterday, and the message facility was very useful for us both to shoot off to lunch without having to wait for each other's responses. Back to you, G4NRC, G4KA.
G4KAL, G4NRC. Thanks for that, Philip. That gave me the audience participation break I needed, if nothing else. Good insight about the charity fundraisers and not being able to get the support they need until it's on the day. I don't think anybody's said that out loud before, so that's a good one. Having a catalogue or library of training would be nice, but then you need to keep it fresh enough. The weekly nets, what one group did, and this is an American group, I have to say, not a UK group, they have a list of 100 words, and they weren't pretty words, they were long and awkward to spell words. And as part of the weekly net, yes, it's provided a equipment check that the railway lines were there to move traffic, but part of this you would throw a number at somebody and they would have to look the number up on the sheet and find the word and spell that back to you using the correct phonetic alphabet. And with small nets of 100 words, there was enough there to ensure some variation and flexibility, and people didn't tend to get the same words twice. But it promoted the best practice, which was a nice thing to do. Okay, Phil, G4HUF, G4NRC.
G4HUF, yeah, okay, good afternoon all. Not a lot exciting to report. I suppose I could make people chuckle with regard to comment I was on a funeral on Friday, where most of the proceedings was prepared prior to the lady concerned curling her toes up, and a final statement read out by the vicar was basically, as this is my last fundraising exercise, please give generously. And I think most of the congregation did exactly that. Which brings me around to the reason that I didn't get on your group AGM on Tuesday. I was challenged to go and find some suitable clothing stowed away in our store. A lot of progress of recovering stuff from there and reintroducing it to the house is a very slow one at the moment, and that's taking up a lot of my time. So not a lot of time for radio activity. So that's all I've got to report on this time round. I cringe when people talk about training, because until we've got the house sorted out and various other bits and pieces organised, my time to spend on RAYNET activities is severely limited, and it does annoy me on occasions. So on that note, I shall shut up, pass it back, and I think you can treat me as being out after this transmission over.
For HUF, G4NRC returning. Okay, Phil, yes, I did notice you didn't dial in, but no problem, that is a much higher priority, restoring home. And you've missed out on the election process, which meant I got stuck with it again for another year. So same committee carries on through. What we did talk about was doing more, having debriefed our own exercise home ground, how we would actually go forward, doing a repeat of that and then enhancing it through the year. So there's stuff we can share, you can borrow from or whatever, to make it happen. Okay, 7-3 to you, noted the out, and that takes us to the final on this round, which is David. Golf 4 X-ray Uniform Romeo, your 2 requests for frequency allocation certificates have caused me 2 raised eyebrows. One, because the system didn't do what I wanted it to do. So you might get a frequency allocation certificate for 36 months, but honestly the system doesn't mean it, so it'll be getting revoked at the end of your event. And the other one is that Ofcom didn't recognise the G1 club call sign, allegedly, in the database. I'm trying to get a resolution to that one as well. G4XUR, G4 and RC over.
G4XUR returning it. Okay, thanks Greg, that's an update, but I'd appreciate... Oh, sorry, you are echoing on YouTube for some reason. Not that I'm causing, but as a standalone. Yeah, all noted, and SOM is definitely I checked it recently on the Ofcom website, so I'm not sure what the issue is with that. We don't often use that call sign, we use the other club call signs. Okay, back to my good afternoon to you. Sorry to hear about your voice, and good afternoon to all on the net. A few weeks ago, I did mention the petition that's on the UK government website for a reduction in the planning permission, a reform in the planning permission for antenna mounts. We've got a link on our website, which is Taunton RAYNET. If anybody feels that they should want to support that, but at the moment it's only got 2,898 votes or ticks or whatever. Reader robust capabilities, and I'm just checking on my timeout side of things. Use of RF only is a solution which we follow as far as possible here, with less reliance on any of the AX25 derivatives, which would no doubt not be there if it were needed. And you've already mentioned the repeater, so nothing further to say. If there's any issue, I can provide confirmation of our main club call sign. Thanks very much indeed for running the net, and I wish you a good afternoon. G4NRC, this is G4XUR.
G4XUR, yeah, that wasn't an explicit answer on that one. I mean, it's out of question marks. I might leave you on the list and come back, David, at the very end just for confirmation. I was wondering, since Ofcom has started to enact the part where you can't have too many club call signs against a particular person, or things like that, so whether it was that kind of glitch. So investigations go on. I know it's live because I've seen it in the call book. Just didn't know why it was thrown back on me for this, which is why I've just had to do some checking. I'm hoping those will go out, as I say, one with a broken timescale and one correct timescale, and I'll just ignore the Ofcom warning. For the other one, appreciating your event is next weekend. Right. I'm not sure if you're hearing the background noise here, because it's fun trying to talk with the dog barking in the background. Golf 8 Echo Echo Yankee for a final G4 and RC over.
G4 NRC from G8DEY. Yes, interesting. Of course, we used WhatsApp, which was set up in this part of the world by the Red Cross. The LRF used that, but of course the Red Cross don't get involved in voluntary anymore, it seems. So, not heard anything on WhatsApp for many a period now. Yeah, we have a weekly net on Tuesday nights here. I've seen sometimes as many as 5 appear on the net, but not on a regular basis. And we've also noticed that there are more and more events that are actually not happening because their own entrants don't have any interest. So I don't know whether interest in going out and actually moving your limbs and doing anything seems to be disappearing. As for the tablet, well, strangely enough, I bought it just to use as a control panel for an app that I run, and it will never be used online, so I might even have to take it back to Windows 7, because another app doesn't like working on Windows 10 either. Interesting though, I set the main app up in, despite the fact it was in German at the time, in about 3 minutes. When I set this app up on a Windows 11 tablet I got, thank you to this wonderful thing called File Manager, it took about 3 days to set this app up. Yes, I do have issues with Microsoft 11 and this business, but according to File Manager, the first day of the week is Friday, in anywhere other than on the desktop, because F comes before the other letters and the days. Well, that's my thought. But thanks for running the net, Greg, as always, and look forward to hearing from you next week from G8EEY.
EEY, Chief for an RC. I knew you provided the prompt, wasn't forgotten to say so far. Looking ahead through the month, we have no basketball games constraining the net, for me running it at least, until the end of March. But on the 22nd of March, it is the Northwest Zone AGM, and since Graham and I should be there, that might lead to a difficult situation in running the net and or streaming it. So, soft pedal today, but more likely to say it next week. We need to decide what's happening on the 22nd, because I can't guarantee being back in time, and certainly know that the times I have tried running the net remotely, driving back from the Lancashire area, it's been less than successful. Okay, thanks Mike, hopefully I'll be in better voice next week. Stephen, Mike 7 Victor Sierra Delta, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, this is Mike 7 Victor Sierra Delta. Yeah, our virtual radio system does suffer dropouts. If you've got a unit that connects to a slightly dodgy internet connection, it will drop out. We have established RF links to the system as well, which is the next stage of rolling this thing out. We have 2 talk through units connected to one VHF, one UHF in the general area of Swindon. Can't tell you exactly where, but in the general area of Swindon. And the plan is to put other repeaters and RF nodes into the system via All-Star. We use an All-Star nodes. So it's going to become a rather good system where we can cross-link from the online side to RF and vice versa. Won't be on the net next Sunday, as I'm attending our annual Wing conference. So I'll probably still be there at this time. Lots of presentations and talks to get through as to where we are as a wing and where we're going. So with that, I'll pass it back to you, over.
Mike 7 Victor Sierra Delta, G4NRC returning. Yeah, interesting. As you mentioned, All-Star, they made me go and have a quick look. Just be careful and cautious about the terms and conditions of All-Star nodes and the services they allow it to be used on. I do remember somebody getting a little bit upset that their amateur-only software was being used on non-amateur bands, and by non-amateurs, which is a problem. So, yes, just watch how that progresses. But interesting on the way you're developing the system. Okay, thanks for that, and good luck at the conferences. Trevor, G4KUJ for a final G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, G4KUJ. I think the only thing I'd add about folk keeping their kit up to date and working is that I reminded some of the members of one of the local groups down here that I join in their 365 net on a Thursday evening, that some of those who have DMR peers haven't actually activated them for periods of up to 2 or 3 years. It's one of the bonuses of being one of the system ops for the DMR. You can actually see some of the data about what people have used. And I think I might see some of those peers reactivated in the near future. But I think we do need fairly consistent prods for people to keep testing their kit, whatever it is. So cheers for now, Greg. May catch you on Pack Tour during the week, or see what conditions are like to DB0 in TS. Cheers for now. Cheers to everyone. G4KUJ. Clear. Back to you, Greg. G4 NRC.
Returning to G4KUJ. Okay, thanks, Trevor. Yes, I've got the name and shame of going down to who's not done what on the lists for active DMR peers. As you say, it's very easy to do with that system. Should be good all evening this week, as far as I remember. Just one where there's a group VHF net that might be problematic on the 5th. That should put me in the right place for the skeds for Pack Tour. So yes, we might cross. Okay, final time please from Philip. G4KIL, G4NRC.
G4NRC, G4KIL. I don't think I've got much to add. Thanks for running the net. Hopefully you should be up for this net next week, as far as I know. Like I say, probably won't make the HS net next week, but hopefully the one after. We'll be doing hopefully doing a lot of monitoring of the JS8 on 40 metres throughout the week, possibly get on for transmitting just occasionally. That's pretty much it from me. So trees all, speak to you all probably next week. G4 NRC, G4 KL.
G4KIL, G4 NRC. Yes, well, my days off this week were meant to be Monday and Wednesday, but Monday has disappeared into having to go back in for at least an hour and a half. Wednesday more likely for me being able to play some radio through the day, so we'll see how we progress. You might see my JS8 call appear on that day. Okay, and finally, because I didn't answer it last time round, G4XUR, the petition, 2,890 signatures doesn't even get a debate, so get that. But working backwards, there's a maximum of 28,000, 30,000 probable signatures when you take away all the duplicate call signs and people with multiple call signs and lifetime licenses and so on to achieve it. So it's about getting what's possible. And the big difference here is planning policy is not always centrally set. So you can ask what it took the Americans decades to get their, what was it called, PRB1 exemption. And even that doesn't work in some areas like private properties. So it's an uphill ask about the planning permission change. There's a lot you can do though within the rules, which is where mine tends to sit, just below the de minimis. So just make sure you're okay, and I will get you to your FACs turned around to you. G4XUR, G4NRC, over.
G4XUR returning. Yeah, all noted, Greg. The petition didn't originate from this quarter. Oh, sorry, I'll just turn the YouTube volume down. It didn't originate from us. One of our members just happened to notice it and sent it to our info address, and that got circulated to all members, and several have signed it, and I have as well, because
it's worth a try. But we didn't originate it. We've no thought it was a good point to put a tick in the box, but appreciate the difficulties with localised planning permission, and we have done the same with our group for several members where there was a question or two. The call sign, they were all revalidated in November last year, including my own, it looks like, which I must have done for the avoidance of doubt. But it was the last one on the list. G1 is lower than the M0KQY, and there were 6 club call signs, so we probably could do with kicking one of those off. But the G1 SOM has been in existence for 40 odd years, so we won't be easily relinquishing that one, but happy to relinquish one of the others once they invoke their reduction process. Okay, 7-3, thank you very much indeed for the net, and look forward to calling in. It won't be next Sunday because we'll be fully activated on our Grizzly run, but the following week, likewise. It won't be likewise, it will be the net. 7-3, thank you very much indeed, and good afternoon to you and the net.
G4NRC returning. Okay, thanks for that. Yes, we'll get it sorted out. Okay, let's bring it to a close. Let me go find another couple of drinks. So thanks everybody for taking time out of your schedules to participate this afternoon. Be careful, have a good week, and until next Sunday afternoon at 1600 hours local time, I'll now close the RAYNET-UK weekly activity net and return top groups 23531 on Pheonix and Brandmeister and 502331 on the RAYNET-UK system to be an open net rather than a directed net. 7-3 all, this is G4NRC now closing, reverting to my normal call sign of 40 Delta Uniform Bravo. Bye bye.